Now 7 o'clock, calling the July 9th BZA meeting to order. Staff, if you could please note the presence of a quorum.
Mr. Bunkfest.
Present.
Mr. Clarino.
Here.
Dr. Keene. Mr. Plummer.
Here.
Mr. Buller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you. We'll take a motion to approve the minutes from the June 11th meeting.
Motion to approve the June 2024 BZA minutes.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Plummer, second by Mr. Clarino. Do this by voice vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Wonderful. Staff, please review the rules and procedures for this evening.
Yes, for all petitions, tonight's meeting has the following structure. The department will summarize the petition and describe what action, if any, is necessary to be taken. Then the petitioner will be given up to 15 minutes to present to the board. The president will open a public hearing. Individuals will be given 3 minutes to speak. Those representing a group will be given 5 minutes to speak. Only one member of the group will be given the 5 minutes to speak. And for efficiency purposes, we ask that those representing a group speak first. The public hearing will be closed when all interested members of the audience have had a chance to be heard and all emails received during the meeting have been provided to board members. The petitioner will then have a chance to respond to comments, and the board will follow with any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the petition. Please do not disrupt the proceedings in any way. If you need to have a private discussion, we ask that you please quietly exit the room. Please silence your devices at this time, and if you must answer them, then please quietly exit the room. If you are attending in person and wish to speak in regards to a petition scheduled for a public hearing, once the public hearing is opened by the president, then please approach the podium and write your name and address into the sign-in sheet next to Ryan. If you are not attending in person, comments regarding a petition should be emailed to planners@westfield.in.gov with the petition name or number included in the subject line, and those comments will be forwarded to board members and the petitioner. During your comments, please state your name and address into the microphone for the record, and we ask that you not repeat previously stated comments. Your presentation will be timed, and you will be advised when there is approximately 30 seconds remaining. We would like to remind everyone to please speak directly into the microphone so your comments can be put onto the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Dane. One motion before we get into the items of business. It does appear we do have a change to the agenda. Just for the matter of record, it does look like agenda item 2407 VS23 has been continued to a later meeting. Perfect. On that note, we will jump in. Items of business. First, 2407 VS20 as it relates to 227 Park Street. Lauren, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President, Vice President. Members of the board, for the record, Lauren Gillingham with the Community Development Department. The item before you tonight is the public hearing for 227 Park Street. It's 0.35 acres in size. Some of you may know this property as the Bruns property. The previous owner, Mr. Bruns, built the large addition to the home that you can see in the back, kind of the higher roof line area. And he lived there for many years until his passing. But as part of this request before you, the petitioner is requesting a variety of development standards in order to convert this home into a restaurant, as is very popular on Park Street. Although the structure is currently considered legally conforming, the amount of demolition necessary to rebuild the structure exceeds the UDO's intentional damage threshold, which requires variances to bring the existing nonconformities into compliance. And then there are a couple more variances requested just to make this conversion process easier and to allow it to look a little bit more like a business. These variances development standard are to encroach into the front and side yard building setbacks, to waive the 31 overlay district, which does apply to the downtown, and to modify accessory structure, architecture, parking, and sign standards. My staff report goes into detail on each request. This item does require a public hearing and has been properly noticed and advertised. I've received no public comments as of 6 p.m. this evening. Petitioner is here tonight. We are both willing and able to answer questions. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lauren. Before we open the floor to committee member questions, if it's all right, we will open the public hearing. Hear from that first, so open public hearing at 7:04.
I forgot to mention, I passed out updated elevations and site plan, slightly different than the ones included in the agenda.
Excuse me, you didn't state your name and address for the record during the public hearing. Make sure you sign up. Thank you. Ryan Ordain, any activity at planners@westfield.in.gov?
No emails received at this time.
Wonderful. We will wait till the turn of 7:06, and we will close public hearing. Public hearing closed, 7:06. Community members, questions, comments, concerns?
Question on the exterior perspective, which looks like it's facing to the north. Is that roof deck, that's going to be an outdoor dining space? Or is that just architecturally, just a roof space over the first level that's not occupied? Yeah.
Tom Lazara and Anthony Lazara here on behalf of the project. The front roof space is an outdoor patio space, and the elevations that you guys received on your desks, it's being reduced from what we have here on the exhibit shown to increase the entertainment space inside.
Okay.
But the goal is to have it as entertainment space outside also.
Mainly more of a private dining space, not like a full season. That's what we're going to push for the tenant use.
And what's the material of the guardrail at the roof level? Is it shown on I see all of the other materials.
That's a great question. That's a powder-coated steel, and then there's a glass infill between each of those cross members.
Okay. So there's glass there?
Yes.
There's a solid, okay.
And then just for a question from you, you did say that patio overlooks Park Street, is that correct, or is it on the trail side?
Yes, that overlooks the Park Street corridor.
Wonderful. Well, anybody else? Before I jump in and say, I for one, love the product, excited to see it on Park Street, and I think you're going to fit in very well. So
Yeah.
thank you for your investment in Westfield.
Very excited. Have you done restaurants before?
Yes, Custom Living has, and Anthony's an owner of a restaurant in Carmel.
Great, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, on that note, if no further comment, I will take a motion from the committee on approval of
Billy.
2407 VS20. When approving, please make sure we do acknowledge those recommended conditions in the,
Go ahead.
one
Motion.
moment, please.
Yeah, one moment. I just, as you were scrolling this, realized a mistake in this site plan, or excuse me, in the staff report. It should not be developed in substantial compliance with the site plan. I said that earlier in the report and then just forgot to take that out because the site plan is still subject to change.
So on that note, I guess the anticipation here is approval under the recommended conditions while striking recommended condition number 1. I believe we can do that all in one motion.
And I would recommend modifying condition number 2 so that rather than what was uploaded as Exhibit 4, rather is replaced with the items that were provided to you this evening as character exhibits.
Easy enough. Who's ready to take it?
Motion to approve 2407 VS20 with the conditions previously noted.
I'll second that.
Wonderful. Staff.
Mr. Buller,
Yes.
Mr. Clarino,
Yes.
Mr. Plummer,
Yes.
Mr. Bunkefest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you both.
Oh,
Moving.
and findings of fact.
Oh, yes, excuse me. Approval of finding of fact, the double whammy.
I'll make a motion to approve the findings of facts for 227 Park Street, 2407-VS-20.
I'll second.
Dane?
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Clarino?
Yes.
Mr. Plummer?
Yes.
Mr. Bunkfest?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, guys. Bringing it to Westfield. Appreciate it.
Moving on, agenda item 2407 VS21 as it relates to 21551 Anthony Road. Ryan, the floor is yours.
Yep. Thank you, Vice President, members of the board. For the record, Ryan Collingwood with the Community Development Department. The subject property is about 3.2 acres in size and is located at 21551 Anthony Road within the AGSF1 Agricultural and Single Family Rural District. The petitioner requests 2 variances of development standard to permit an accessory structure in the proposed location as identified within Exhibit 3. The first variance requested is to encroach as many as 25 feet into the 30-foot allotted side yard setback. The second variance requested is to permit an accessory building in the established front yard of the property. The petitioner requests the aforementioned variances due to natural and geographical factors that hinder where the structure can be placed. This item does require a public hearing tonight, which has been properly noticed and advertised. Staff has received no comments related to this petition. The petitioner is here this evening. The petitioner is available to answer any questions, as am I, should you have any for staff. Thank you.
Wonderful. On that note, this item does require a public hearing, so we will open the floor at 7:11. While we are waiting, we will mention, I believe we've received one written comment as it relates to this, and I believe staff did hand that out at the beginning of the evening today. So please review that. No further comments?
Correct.
15, 20 more seconds here. Public hearing closed at 7:13. Questions, comments, concerns from the board? If no comments to the positive or the negative, I will entertain a motion on 2407 VS21.
I'll make a motion to approve 2407-VS-21 21551 Anthony Road for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Dane, please take the roll.
Mr. Buller? Yes. Mr. Clarino?
Yes.
Mr. Plummer?
Yes.
Mr. Bunkfest?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. I believe we also do have a findings of fact.
I'll make a motion that we approve the finding of fact on 2407 VS21.
Motion
I'll second it.
and a second. Dane.
Mr. Buller?
Yes.
Mr. Clarino?
Yes.
Mr. Plummer?
Yes.
Mr. Bunkfest?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to the final agenda item of the evening. 2407 VS22 as it relates to 204 College Avenue. Dane, you finalize out the staff roulette this evening.
Good evening, members of the board. For the record, Dane Crabtree with the Community Development Department. The item before you this evening is a variance of development standard request for 204 College Avenue, which is a portion of Union Bible College and is a 1.74 acre parcel zoned SF4 single-family high density. The request is to permit a trash enclosure to be located in an established front yard closer than 75 feet from a right-of-way. As the board may see from the location map provided, the property is a corner lot bound by both Cherry Street and College Avenue. The only place the receptacle could be placed to meet UDO standards is on the north side of the property immediately adjacent to the backyards of existing residential properties, or the west side of the property immediately adjacent to the existing playground. This item has been properly noticed and advertised. The department did receive a public comment late this evening, which was provided to you earlier. It's kind of sort of a public comment, but I thought in the best interest, I would just print it off and give it to you. Mike DuBois of DuBois Land Services is present this evening on behalf of Union Bible College. He does not plan to make a presentation, but is available if there are questions. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dane. This item does require a public hearing. We will open the floor at 7:15. Any public comment received digitally?
We do not have any digital public comments.
Wonderful. A few seconds here and we will close public hearing. Close the public hearing at 7:17. Board members, questions, comments, concerns?
Public notice went out to all the neighbors and no
Yeah,
comments.
not, other than the one that was passed out to you this evening, no other public comment.
Okay, great, thank you.
If no questions, comments, concerns, I will entertain a motion on item 2407 VS 22.
Motion to approve 2407 VS 22 with the conditions noted in the staff report.
Motion by Mr. Plummer.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Clarino. Dane?
Mr. Clarino,
Yes.
Mr. Plummer. Yes. Mr. Bunkefest.
Yes.
Mr. Buller.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Take a motion on the recommended findings as well.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommended findings of fact for 2407-VS-22, 204 College Avenue.
Second?
Motion and a second. Dane?
Mr. Clarino.
Yes.
Mr. Plummer. Yes. Mr. Bunkefest.
Yes.
And Mr. Buller.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
As mentioned, we have continued 2407 VS 23 to a future meeting. With that, there are no other items of new business and no other items continued to a future meeting. Moving on to reports and comments. Obviously, Mr. Keene is not here today, so is the Secondary Plan Commission. We had one consent agenda item, had approved the zone improvement plan, which if you feel like reading some invigorating literature, it's about 2,500 pages of just laying out road improvements necessary, and Jonathan and team have done a great job there. And then had heard for the first time the courtyards of Silo Ranch, which is there just off 161st by Viking Meadow, done by Epcon Communities. So, Planning Commission. Anything from the board members this evening?
The only thing I would like to state is that the Westfield Lions Club had their first annual golf outing today, and it was a great success. And so we look forward to having future golf outings, and hope that everybody here can attend.
Thank you. Anything from Community Development Department?
Not this evening.
Wonderful. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Adjournment at 7:19 PM. Thank you all.